Hey guys, CSM here with another review. This time I'll be reviewing the Complete Selection Modification Zeronos belt. This is an upgrade of the Deluxe Zeronos belt from Master Rider Gen 0, which is more show accurate and features new sounds and features, as well as added functionality. This set includes several things: the belt itself, belt stopper, 3 Zeronos cards, 1 Zeronos holder, or Zeronos card holder, and 2 rider tickets. So, let's get started. First up, we'll take a look at the Zeronos belt and compare it to the deluxe version. So, as you can see, obviously, one of the big features here is that, as with all CSM belts, this is designed for adults, so has a much larger set of belt straps that can fit adult waist, and of course uses the kind of flexible plastic straps as well as the nylon straps inside, so I'm clipping the back. To some degree it is upscaled from the original, and you can tell that there is definitely new molding here, such as a better molding for the clip here on the side, a couple more speaker holes for better sound, or rather not even that, but rather the speaker holes are still the two here, but now we have these parts painted in. And there's also quite a difference in the paint color, especially noticeable in the greens here compared to the deluxe version. They also removed the kind of rough texture that was present on the deluxe in favor of just making it smooth in these parts. Once again, they kind of upscale a lot of the details to make them more accurate. And it definitely looks like a more premium product that is closer to the actual show counterpart. Next, we'll look at the Zeronos cards and the rider tickets. On the left are the 3 CSM cards, and on the right are the 2 deluxe cards. Now, there's a reason why there are 3 here, but only 2 here, and that basically gets down to how the releases went. So the 2 that match up with the deluxe ones are the ones that have the Altair form side on one half and the Vega form side on the other. Whereas the other one was the one with the Vega form side on one half and then the Zero form side on the other. And for the deluxe version, this one came with the Zeronos belt, and this one came with the Dynamic Buster. And even here they are different. Obviously you can tell that there's a difference in terms of the color, but also the molding is different as well. Not only do they once again remove the kind of rough pattern used here and here, but also in order to accommodate the size of the card holders, they have made them thinner, with the parts that are used to hit the switches to activate different forms basically being less pronounced, less prominent. Again, you can tell that the same thing applies to these ones as well. For the card holders, here was the deluxe one, which just fit the 2 deluxe cards in it. Then for the CSM one, has enough space to fit all 3. And like with other kind of clips and accessories for belts, it uses a Velcro strap instead of a plastic one. And indeed, all 3 do fit comfortably in the holder. And as a bonus, it does include the 2 rider tickets, rather. One is a blank Zeronos ticket, whereas the other is the Zeronos Altair form ticket. And these don't really do anything in terms of this set, though they are, of course, compatible with any CSM rider pass. Now that we looked at the details, next we can look at the functions. So to start off, we'll head around to the back. You can see the barrel compartment, which takes 2 AAAs like the deluxe version, have the power switch on the left and then the voice mode switch on the right. So mode A is Yuto and Deneb mode, and this is for their voices playing during the special attacks. Then mode B is just Deneb mode. Additionally, on the bottom, we have the BGM button and the Yuto and Deneb voice buttons respectively. So we'll be switching it to mode A and then turning it on. Well, this bit will light up. Now, with the belt connector disconnected, or with the clip disconnected, it makes some sounds. So, with the button on top, it has some sounds that can play. First is the Imagine Possession sound, and Unpossession. The Rider Ticket Scanning sound. The Zero Liner Summoning sound. And that watch ticking sound, which is more tied to the future Yuto. We also have the BGMs, and there are 6 of them. First one is Send Help. Then Action 0. Altair form. I don't know the name of this one, but it's the one used for the first transformation into Zero form. And Dynamic Buster for Zero form. Those have the voice buttons on the side. And I'm actually not going to go over all of the different voices because there are hundreds of voice lines in this. And it'd just be too many to go over. Plus, I don't really want to take the trouble to translate all of them, and it'd just be for the better. There are definitely other videos that just better go over the different voice lines if you're curious about that. However, there is a cool feature where if you press and hold one of the buttons and then push the button on top, it'll actually play some lines in sequence and kind of combine them into conversation between the two characters.
あいつめちゃめちゃびっくりしてんの。ほんと何も知らないんだもんな。そういうのよくない。なんだよ。ユウト、今のは意地が悪すぎる。いいだろ別に。友達になりたいならちゃんと。誰がだ。あいた。お前ずれてんだから黙ってろよ。
That's...
いて。ユウト、大丈夫か。
That's an example for the Yuto button, and then for the Deneb button, here's an example. Then we can get the transformation. So first we'll clip in the belt in the side. We'll take first card out of the holder. And like with the deluxe version, you just have to push the lever all the way to the other side and then put in the card with the arrow facing inwards. Additionally, you can press the Yuto button, or you say Henshin. And then we have the transformation for Altair form. So after that, if you press and hold the Yuto button, he'll say his catchphrase, and then Deneb can say another phrase if you press and hold his button. And there are also some set sound combinations for the different forms. So for Altair form, there are 4 of them. And I apologize if I use Altair or Altair alternatively. They are pretty much the same thing.
避けるのもめんどくさくなってきたな。デネブ、来い。デネブ、そのまま持ってろよ。了解。言うと、ダメだ。言ってデネブ、言うと、ごめん。おりゃ。なんで話すんだよ。ダメだ。卑怯すぎる。は？こんな戦い方はダメだ。もっとちゃんと。お前。じゃあお前やれ。了解。逃げんな。この野郎。ユウト、落ち着け、落ち着け。話せよ。こういう戦い方は良くない。ユウト、引け。自滅することもあるし、体力を消耗しすぎて持久戦になった場合。デネブ、来い。最初に言っておく。俺たちはかなり強い。
And for this, it actually doesn't matter which button you press to or activate it. So then we have the special attacks. So obviously, like with the deluxe version, you start by pressing the full charge button. Then, from here, you remove the Zeronos card. And in place of having a CSM Zero gadget to connect this to, instead just press the button on top for the special attack. And they go in sequence because of it. First is the bowgun mode finisher, Splendid End. And so to get the next attack, you just pull the lever and put the card back in. Then do the sequence again. And there's the Saber mode finisher, Grand Strike. And next we'll switch it over to Vega form. Then we press the Dana button for tendency henching. So we press and hold the Dana button. We'll get the phrase used when we first became that form. So we press and hold the Yuto button. We'll get an attack sound from his shoulder cannons. And we also activate the special attacks in this mode. So before that, we'll get to the voice sequences, and for the combined sequences here, there are actually 8 of them.
改めて言っておく。ユトをよろしく。もういいんだよ。
So next we'll get to the special attacks. So again, first is Splendid End. Then Grand Strike. Additionally, by pressing the button on top of the belt with it out of it and after activating a special attack, it will activate the Zeronos card dissolving sound, which is a nice touch. There's still one more form left to go, so we can put this to the back of the holder. And pull out the next card and activate Zero Form. Then we have the held phrases. So for the Yuto button, he'll say his catchphrase but in a different tone of voice. And then if you press and hold the Dynamic button, you get the Dynamic Buster activation sound. And then for Zero Form, there are once again 4 phrase combinations. And as a nice touch, they do kind of add a voice filter to show that Denbit's talking as the Dynamic Buster. And then you have the special attacks. So, for the first one, we have the Dynamic Buster finisher attack, Buster Nova, and then it gets to the 2 Zero Gasher attacks. Additionally, pressing the button with no card in it while it's set to Zero Form will instead get you the shattering sound of the Zero Form tickets breaking. And we can deactivate the transmission by simply disconnecting the belt. The last thing I want to touch upon are some special transformations as well as the BGM integration. Although before that, I do want to correct myself in that I got kind of the special attack names mixed up, in that Grand Strike is the bowgun finisher and Splendid End is the saber finisher. So, these are basically activated via the button here on top. So, if you press and hold it once, you get that tone. You can kind of set a BGM. I'll activate the transformation. And that activates the sound for the first transformation of Zeronos' Altair form.
最初に言っておく。俺はかなり強い。仲間、冗談だ。俺は俺だ。避けるのもめんどくさくなってきたな。デネブ、来い。デネブ、そのまま持ってろよ。さっさと倒れるのはお前だな。いってー。デネブ。
So then we'll deactivate the transformation. Do that again with 2 presses. I'll do a different BGM this time. That makes the episode 35 version of the transformation.
じゃあお前やれ。最初に言っとくぞ。俺はお前より確実に強い。悪いな。力押しだけじゃ決まんないんだよ。
And for the next one, we'll press and hold it 3 times. Or actually, no, we won't. Rather, we'll actually use this to lead into something else. Press and hold it once. We'll turn to the flip side. And we'll set to a very specific BGM. To activate or recreate the first transformation into Zero form. And that is indeed timed exactly as I had in the debut episode of this form, which is very impressive. But then we can continue the tone by getting to the proper battle theme for Zero form. And then we'll use the one for Vega form. and just set it to the one BGM track we didn't use thus far. And once again, this will be the first transformation into that form.
最初に言っておく。胸の顔は飾りだ。いや、騙したら悪いから。落ち着け。さっきの攻撃はこっちが悪かった。謝る。言うと、よかったな。この勝ち方なら大丈夫だ。
And for this, if we deactivate the transformation, we'll get an imagined deposition sound followed by the transformation, or detransformation. And there we go. Overall, I'd say the CSM Zeronos belt has everything that it needs to. Obviously, this is one where I was a little bit wary because, just in terms of functionality, the Zeronos belt doesn't have nearly as much as the Deno belt in terms of the forms of attacks and such. So a lot of that extra effort had to be put into, or kind of a lot of things that would, warrant that premium price had to be put into some of the extra bonuses. And definitely they did put a lot of effort into that. They did give us all 3 cards, whereas originally we only had 2. Did a good job at kind of integrating these special attacks in a way that made sense for the show, as well as the different voice lines. And the voice lines are definitely kind of what would be, I think, the big selling point of this belt, because they really kind of add in a lot. Of course, you have those voice combinations, you have the different phrases, and they really did go all out for this. Just for reference, in terms of the solo voice lines for Yuto, there are 179, for Deneb 142, as well as some post-transformation phrases for Altair form that are 28. Vega form has 16. Zero form has 6. And again, this is, it's an incredible amount, and it is quite something that speaks to, just the volume of, or it speaks to the character of the 2 actors for coming in and re-recording all of those different lines. But that also kind of just shows where the appeal of this is. It's really something for, not exactly general Riot fans, but definitely for Zeronos fans. If you're a big fan of the writer, especially of the 2 characters, this is definitely for you. Just, be aware that in terms of kind of the writer aspects, just because of how it's limited, there isn't quite as much. Still, if you can find one for a good price, and again, you are a big fan of the writer and the characters here, I can certainly recommend picking it up. Next time to follow us up, I'll be looking at the CSM Deno Belt Movie Edition. So, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and if you're new and would like to see more, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. And for now, this is KRX50, signing off.